Hey everyone, so I recently went to a wedding, so I thought it was a perfect opportunity to do a get ready with me. So I'm going to start off with my hair and of course just brushing it through with the Tangle Teezer. If you haven't used a Tangle Teezer, it's absolutely lifesaver. Same as the Invisibobble. So I just separate my hair and then pop it up in the Invisibobble. I then put this Label.M Texturising volume spray just all around the roots really and just fluff it up so then I get a bit of volume and nothing's flat. I get really nice bouncy curls that way. Then to create those curls, I go for the Stafford Wonderball curler. This is my favourite curler. I just get lovely spirally curls which I can then run my fingers through and they turn into really thick, voluminous, almost beachy waves. I know it's probably not the great time to do beachy waves, but yeah, I absolutely love that look. Whenever I have a curly hair, that's the sort of hair I go for. So I just take like random chunks and also curl in different ways, so it's a really rough sort of look. And I will not bore you with the full process, so yeah, I'm just finishing off the bottom half of my hair and then I basically just go section by section and do the whole head of hair, hairspraying each layer after I've done it, and then obviously hairspraying and texturized spray to do the whole thing and just chuck my head upside down and get it all going in there. I always skip between hairsprays, but the VO5 Extra Hold is a really good hairspray. I don't really like the way it comes out of the can. It comes out a bit quick and in like spurts, but I do really like it and it does the job. So yep, this is all done. As you can see, really rough. I haven't quite brushed it through yet, but I'm moving on to makeup. So the photography fluid is really lovely as a base. It's sort of like iridescent, so when you rub it into your skin it just sort of makes the light bounce off your skin, taking away from any imperfections really. And then of course I moisturise my lips. I love to do this first so then it really sinks in by the time I get around to my lipstick, and I only ever do this really when I'm special occasions, stuff like that, so I'll just use an orange full coverage concealer by NYX and just rub it in with my fingers because it is quite thick, so the warmth of my fingers tends to do a good job. So I'll do that just to take any dark circles away before putting my concealer on. I love the NYX Matte Finish Long Lasting Setting Spray, so I tend to use that on my beauty blender. I'll obviously do a bit of water as well, but that mainly. And then the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. I use medium, so it's relatively light still, but it's great coverage and really creamy. So I just put it on any imperfections, any redness, and obviously to cover those dark circles. And then use the beauty blender to blend it all in and just bouncing motions really for this. It needs to go lovely and into the skin so you get that seamless complexion.
For this particular event I wanted something that was really glowy and sort of made my fake tan look more natural and blended, so I went with the Nars Sheer Glow foundation, and again just the beauty blender. I feel like a beauty blender really does the job with this foundation, whereas a brush it can cause like brush strokes and stuff like that, so I would definitely recommend a beauty blender with Nars Sheer Glow.
For contour, of course, I'm going to go to my failsafe, the Clinique Chubby Stick in Curvy Contour, and just go to cheekbones, down the nose, under the lips, and also under my chin, which I did for the first time this time, and I kind of liked it. It really bronzed me up and also made everything blend seamlessly as I had fake tan on my neck. And again, just blend that in with a beauty blender. So I literally use my beauty blender for everything. So I tend to have to wash them after every go because there's loads of product on them. But yeah, I love my beauty blender for blending. For highlight, I use the Maybelline Age Rewind, and it is just the perfect highlight. So I just do triangles underneath my eyes, down my nose, and Cupid's bow. I don't go too over the top with highlight because I feel like it can wash you out sometimes. So I just tend to do the few places that I think I need it. And before that all creases, I just really quickly set that with the Mercier translucent powder, and I just tend to dab it when it's underneath my eyes, but then just sweep it around my whole face. I'm not precious with it, I just go for it. And for powder highlight, of course, it's the Becca Cosmetics C-Pop. So I'm really going to town with it on this time because, again, I wanted to look really glowy, and I was going to put quite a dark colour on my eyes, so I just wanted to have a shimmery base.
Then onto the brows, and I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow, and I use this really lightly with not a lot of product because when it's on, it stays on. So yeah, I really use this for outline, and then I'll use the Rimmel Brow This Way to fill everything in and add quite a dark colour to it. So I would just sort of lightly brush it in and do almost little brush strokes all the way through, so it almost looks like hairs, and then just go in with a coloured setting brow gel just to top it all off and add that extra bit of colour. For the eyes, I'm going to bronze everything up with, of course, Nars Laguna. This is my favourite bronzer, and then I love using it with the Real Techniques multitask brush. I just think it goes on flawlessly and it covers everything.
Now onto the fun bit with eyes. So I'm using the Smashbox Double Exposure Palette, and the first one I'm using is Veiled on this really large Real Techniques Bold Metals collection brush. So I'm using one side with Veiled, which I'm just patting in because it's really light colour, so if you don't pat it in, it doesn't really transfer that well onto your skin. And then you will see in a minute that I will flip it over and use Quartz from the same palette just to give more of a pinky shimmery colour. Veiled is really like just a blanket like beige colour, whereas Quartz has this really nice pink shimmer. So where I was going for a purple look, I really wanted that sort of pinky to it. Then using the new Real Techniques brush that I have, I just went in with Fig and did it on the outer corners, going into like the middle of the eye, but sort of windscreen wiper motions, and just really carefully building the colour every time. And because it's a special occasion, I wanted to use the Makeup Geek foiled shadows. So this is in the Spotlight, really lovely pinky, almost really good for a highlight. So I find the best way to do these foiled shadows is using your finger and just tapping it into the eyelid like I'm doing there. And then I went back in with that sort of fluffy Real Techniques brush with the darker colour on, just to blend it all. And to have a bit more of a dramatic effect, I just went underneath the eyes, sort of halfway with the darker colour, and then the other half I went back in with the foiled colour and a really small pencil brush, and just did that other half. Then I went in with the Joan Contour Velvet Natural Glow blush and this Revlon blush brush. And I find the easiest way to do blush is to smile and then just go to the apples of the cheeks and upwards. And the mascara is the Revlon Ultra Volume Mascara. I prefer to double layer mascaras, so I also put on top my favourite, the L'Oreal Miss Hippie Mega Volume Mascara. And for lips, finally, I used MAC Well Lip Liner and just went around the line of my lips. Did a little bit of the corners and then did a bit of lip contouring and went a line down the middle and then a line to define my cupid's bow. And to top that all off, I did the Huda Beauty Liquid Matte in Venus. This is my absolute favourite colour and I love this combination, especially with this sort of purpley, plummy, pinky eye. So yeah, it just pulls everything nicely together. That's everything makeup and hair wise, and then I just threw my dress on that I wore, and I wore this lovely pink dress. So I hope you liked it. If you did, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye!